Good morning, candidates. I am Professor Mujibur Rahman Abid Bhatt. I am a consultant radiologist at Shalimar Institute of Health Sciences, Shalimar Hospital, Lahore, Pakistan. Today we are going to see a patient who has been admitted yesterday with a history of weakness of one side of the body. Let's go and see. He is a 56. Can you see this patient? He is a 56-year-old man who is a known case of diabetes mellitus and hypertension. He had the weakness of left side of the body about 3 years ago, and the weakness lasted for about say 2 to 3 weeks, and later on the patient became mobile and he started working as a shopkeeper in the home. Today is Tuesday. About 4 days ago, the patient got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and was mumbling the sounds and could not get out of the bed, and was taken to a local hospital there and subsequently brought to this hospital yesterday. So we're going to do the examination, the neurological examination of this patient. So what are the things to be seen in such cases? So you guys can open your notebooks and write what are the things. So whenever a person comes to you, either you are in the clinic or you are in the ER or you are in the indoors standing beside the patient, you need to see whether the patient is lying comfortably. You just have to see how the patient looks like, what are the vital signs, how is the pulse going on, and how is the blood pressure going on, how is the saturation. So these basic things have to be seen first and then followed by the neurological examination. For the neurological examination, as you can see, the patient has turned his head towards the right side. He just tried to move to the right, but generally he's turned toward the left side. So this finding is evident by which pathology? What does this indicate basically? So whenever there is an ablative lesion, supratentorial, then the eyes will be diverted towards that lesion. So that it looks like that he has got a left supratentorial lesion. That's why the eyes are looking towards the left side. And once it is like that, then you expect that the patient will have some neurological signs on which side? Obviously on the right side. So let's go and start the examination. Assalamu alaikum. क्या हाल है आपके? नाम क्या है आपका? So I'm asking the name of the patient and he has opened the eyes and he's speaking. अपनी ज़ुबान दिखाइए. अच्छा, ठीक है. आंखें बंद करके दिखाइए. आंखें बंद करें. आंखें बंद करें. So he has been asked to close the eyes, but he couldn't understand that. But he stuck out his tongue once he was asked to show me tongue. अपना बाजू उठा के दिखाइए. बाएं वाला बाजू उठाइए. ऊपर उठाइए बाजू. सीधा ऊपर उठा लीजिए. नीचे कर लीजिए. ये वाला बाजू उठा के दिखाएं. ये वाला बाजू उठाइए. ये वाला. So he has been asked to lift his right arm. He is unable to do that. नीचे कर लीजिए. अपनी बाईं टांग उठा के दिखाइए. ये टांग उठाइए. टांग ये उठाइए. उसको ऊपर उठाएं. टांग उठा के दिखाएं. लेफ्ट वाली टांग उठाइए. So he has been asked to lift the legs and he is moving both the legs simultaneously, but he has been asked categorically to move the left leg, which he did it by moving both the legs together. By doing this thing, we actually remain quite satisfied that we know whether there is what is the disability, what is the grade of weakness the person has got. Is there any disparity between the two sides? Apparently, I can see the right upper limb is not moving well, and even both the lower legs are not having that much power. Besides that, we also come to know by doing these active movements that the patient doesn't have any pain, because I'm going to touch once, I'm going to check the tone, the reflexes and the power. Obviously I'm going to touch the patient, then I would know that the patient doesn't have any pain or any painful spot in any part of the body which I'm going to touch. Okay, सामने देखिए, गर्दन सीधी कर लीजिए, गर्दन सीधी कर लीजिए. अब अपनी आंखें बंद करें जोर से आंखें बंद करें, जोर से बंद खोल लीजिए आंखें. Here can shut the eyes properly. दांत दिखाइए मुझे अपने. दांत दिखाइए, जोड़ के दिखाएं. दांत दिखाइए. ज़बान दिखाइए मुझे अपनी. ज़बान दिखाएं. ज़बान बाहर निकालिए. He has been asked to stick out the tongue, which he couldn't do that. He was asked to show me the teeth, but he just opened the mouth. मेरी उंगली को देखिए. मेरी उंगली को देखिए. इधर देखें उंगली को. इस तरफ देखिए. इधर देखें उधर. इधर देखिए उंगली को. इधर देखें. इस तरफ देखें जहाँ पे चुटकी बज रही है. He has been asked to see where the fingers are being flicked, but he is unable to move eyes. ऊपर देखिए. नीचे देखिए. नीचे देखिए. There is a vertical movement, but the horizontal movements are impaired. Okay, fine. So we start from the healthier side. Apparently it's the left side, though he had a stroke affecting the left side. The first thing we do check for the tone. Tone is you ask a person to relax it. Once I am checking the tone, I can see, I can feel the resistance while moving it on pronation and supination. And then I'm doing the flexion and the extension. There is increased tone. Ideally, once you're checking for the pyramidal tract spasticities or pyramidal tract rigidity, you do the rapid, it's a velocity dependent increased tone, then you will be able to see that the patient has got a clasp knife character or not. And it's a clasp knife. There is a resistance initially and followed by the go. So there is a clasp knife rigidity affecting the right elbow, and there is a sort of a lead pipe affecting the pronation or supination at the radioulnar joint, and across the wrist the tone looks to be normal. So coming to the current affected side, we go with the pronation and supination. Simple ko dhila rakhiye, tone looks increased. Again, it's like a rigidity. This is not a cogwheel, it's like a lead pipe, and this tone across the elbow, it looks like hypotonia. It's a hypotonia. Hypotonia is a sign whenever there is an acute spinal shock-like state. Acute upper motor neurons lesions can cause reduced tone in a particular part of the body. After that, after checking the tone, we go for the power of this patient. So we start with the normal hand first. मेरी उंगली को दबाइए जोर से उंगली को दबाइए, इसको खींचिए अपनी तरफ, जोर से खींचिए. The power looks about 5 minus by 5. That's a good power. अपनी उंगलियां खोल के दिखाइए, उंगलियां खोलिए, ऐसे उंगलियां खोल के दिखाइए, उंगलियां खोलिए. ठीक है. मेरी यहाँ पे उंगली दबाइए जोर से, इधर से जोर से उंगली दबाइए. ये बाजू नीचे करके दिखाइए, ये बाजू नीचे करें. So I've asked the person to move his hand while reducing or while subtracting the effect of gravity, and is unable to do. The power in the right upper limb is 0/5, both proximally as well as distally. Here on the left side, the distally is 5 plus by 5. That 5 that's the normal power. ये बाजू अपनी तरफ खींचे, इसे खींचे, जोर से खींचे. सुनिए, that power is okay. मेरे हाथ को धक्का दें, धक्का दीजिए, धक्का दें, सीधा करें बाजू, सीधा करें, सीधा करें. ठीक है. मेरी कोहनी को, हाथ को नीचे दबाएं, जोर लगाएं. So even the proximally also, the power looks normal to me. After checking the power, what we are expecting in the tendon jerks. So you will be using this type of hammer once you do the tendon jerks, and we start with the brachioradialis on the left side, and you can see 2 hits are sufficient to do that. As you can see the contractions, this looks brisker on the left side. Let's see here, and if you see here is much different as compared to the left side. This looks normal, but it's slightly much reduced as compared to the left side. We go on to see the bicep jerks. For the bicep jerks, it's all for any tendon jerks, you need to expose the muscles properly, because you don't need to see the movement of the limb. You need to see feel the contraction of the muscle. And if you can see, there is a contraction of the biceps here on the right side. Let's see what happens there on the left side. People, those who cannot cover up the patient like this one, they can go on the other side of the bed and hit it. But as I've been doing the practice earlier on, so you can see that the bicep jerk is brisker on the left side. So then we go into the triceps. Again, for the triceps, you have to just simply ask the patient to relax as much as possible, and then you check for that. You can see the tricep jerk on the left side is brisker. Then we go on to check for the tricep jerks on this side, and you can see there is a jerk placable on the right as well. So after these tendon jerks, now as you have seen so far, the next step while examining the motor system, then obviously I'm going to go for the cerebellar system. Considering the understanding of the person, I don't find any reason at the moment to be very, very conclusive in getting any cerebellar sign in this patient. So I'm going to omit a cerebellar sign. For a cerebellar sign, the person needs to be well aware of the commands. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you if the person is conscious, is alert, and he has got a power, say at least 4/5, then the cerebellar signs should be checked in that case. Same is happened here for the sensory system. For the sensory system, I need to check for the light touch, crude touch, pain, temperature, vibration, position sense, 2-point discrimination, tactile localization, graphesthesia, and stereognosis. But all these things can only be checked when the person is in that shape to tell you. The only thing you can do is to check you can have a neuropens, or you can take a small piece of wood, a sharp one, to give a pain, and you can get an idea whether the patient gets pain or anywhere else. You can just see the face, but आपको सुई चुभती है यहाँ पे, सुई लगती है, यहाँ पे लगती है सुई आपको, यहाँ पे लगती है, राइट। अभी कौन से बाजू पे लगाई है, कौन से बाजू, इस पे, अभी कौन से बाजू पे लगाई है, कौन से बाजू पे? So the patient has, so I try to go for a tactile localization. The patient did localize once I gave the painful stimulus to the left arm, but once I gave the painful stimulus to the right arm, the patient again lifted his left hand to tell there is a pain sensation. So apparently, as you could understand that the pain sensations, the sensory system is not very correctly diagnosed in a person who is in this state of affairs. So after examining the lower upper limbs, then we go on to check for the lower limbs. So whenever you have been asked to check the lower limbs, or any limb for that matter, or any part of the body, you need to have a proper exposure of the person. So we have taken the proper consent from the family to have the full examination. So this is the maximum we can do at the moment to expose a person. Once you are exposing a particular limb, obviously before even going for the tone and the reflexive power, you need to check for any deformities, you need to check for any contractures, you need to see any atrophy of the muscles. Apparently, you can, if you look at the legs very carefully, there is a very subtle atrophy of the left calf as compared to the right calf, as it is very evident. Even if I am doing this way, is if you see the right calf looks more bulkier as compared to the left calf. So this could very well be a sort of the effect of disuse atrophy, which was the stroke the patient had about 4 years ago. ये अपनी टांग उठा के दिखाइए, टांग ऊपर उठाइए, ऊपर उठाइए, ऊपर उठाइए. He has lifted both. एक टांग उठाइए, ठीक हो गया. सिम्बे को ढीला रखिए. So apparently we have come to know that the power is at least more than 3/5 in this patient, because he can lift the leg against the gravity. So going for for the tone, so roll the legs like this one, medial rotation and the radial rotation, and meanwhile compare both the sides, and then flexion and extension across the hip as well as the knee, and do it rapidly because it's a velocity dependent once you're suspecting upper motor neuron disease. The tone appears to be increased in the right lower limb at the moment. अच्छा, अब ये टांग उठा के दिखाइए, टांग ऊपर उठाइए, इसको जोर लगाइए, इस टांग को उठाइए, जोर. So power looks by 4/5 approximately on the left side. इस टांग को उठाइए, इस टांग को उठाइए, जोर लगाइए. The power here is again 4/5. ये टांग इकट्ठी कर लीजिए. अब इस टांग को सीधा करें, धक्का दें, push my leg, धक्का दें. So I've asked him to kick his leg, the left leg. टांग सीधी करें, सीधी करें. He is unable to understand that. इस टांग को इकट्ठा करें. अब इसको सीधा करें, टांग को सीधा करें. He's not understanding that. मेरे हाथ को नीचे दबाइए, नीचे दबाइए, नीचे दबाएं. So I'm asking for the plantar flexion, which is there 4/5. इसको नीचे दबाइए, टांग को नीचे दबाइए, जोर लगाइए नीचे. So apparently this is 4/5 as well. ये पैर अपनी तरफ मोड़िए. Try to complete as much possible commands you can give it to the patient. जोर लगाइए. So dorsiflexion apparently, टांग उठाइए. Apparently is about 3/5 on the right side and is almost 0/5 on the left side. So after checking the tone and the inspection, you check for the reflexes. For the reflexes, keep the person as relaxed as possible. Better to check the normal side first. Apparently the normal side, though this side had a stroke. टांग को ढीला रखिए. Expose the muscle belly. Identify the tendon. Identify, do the surface anatomy. This is the tibial velocity. This is the quadriceps tendon, and then hit it. So as you can see, you have made an idea that this tendon reflex looks normal. Then we go on to the left side, or to the right side now. Here the tendon jerk is slightly brisker on the right side. Then we go on to check for the ankle jerks. जिस पे को ढीला रखिए, पे को ढीला रखिए. Identify the Achilles tendon and the muscle belly. You have seen it. There is minimal contraction of the few fibers there in the calf of the left side. Then we go on to check for the right ankle jerks. So को ढीला रखिए. So So बिल्कुल ढीला रखिए, बिल्कुल इजी हो जाएगी, बिल्कुल इजी हो जाए, बिल्कुल रिलैक्स हो जाए। शाबाश शाबाश, बिल्कुल रिलैक्स हो जाए। टांग ढीली रखिए अपनी। So here I can't see any contraction here. Once you have done this one, what next you're going to do now? Obviously, we are suspecting that we're looking at a stroke patient where the eyes are given towards the left side, and we're expecting there to be upper motor neuron signs on the right side. So we're going to check for the Babinski. For the Babinski, you can use this one, or you can use an orange stick, or you can use the key, which because this stimulus has to be a painful, so that the patient will get the actual reflex you're looking for. And so I've done this one, and this is the downgoing plantar on the right side. There is another way of checking. There are almost 14 ways of checking for the plantars. Babinski is one of those, and this is the shadow. You scratch on the lateral part of the foot and go straight. And once you do that, make the fingers relax and do it again. And if you can see that the first movement of the big toe, see the first movement, the big toe looks going upwards. So you have to see the first movement of the toe, and which is up going on the right side. So बिल्कुल ढीला रखिए. Check the Babinski here. Here the Babinski is like a withdrawal on the left side. Then we go to the shadow sign. This is the area we take the shadow. Once you see the shadow, the smaller toes they fan upwards. So they fan upwards and the big toe go down. So this is called as equivocal plantar on the left side. So here it looks like upgoing plantar on the right and an equivocal plantar on the left side. So once you have checked it, so you have to summarize it. So what are the findings you are looking at? The patient is looking towards the left, not moving the right arm as compared to the left side, and the patient power is 0/5 on the right side, right upper limb, and down there the power is somewhere between 3+ or 4/5 in the lower limbs, with the disparity of the tendon jugs, and the plantar on the right side is upgoing. Here we are looking at a palatal tract lesion affecting the the cortical spinal tracts coming down from the left side down to the right, and the patient has got a stroke. And then there are a few investigations to be done. All these things are basically based on the proper history of the person. So history basically works. So at this point of time, I conclude my video, and if there will be any questions, we will be happy to answer. Thank you very much.